Hello, everybody. Hello, and how's everybody doing today? Welcome to the stream. So, I have... Ooh, Thorn, how's it going? How's it going today? Welcome to the chat. So, I have a week left of work before I go on vacation. And that might sound like not a lot of time, but it's 6 days. This is my busy week. I work today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then I'm off for a whole week. It is my long week. Long weeks tend to have fewer streams, unfortunately. And on top of that, I have a meeting here in about 5 hours. So I have a very, very hard cutoff. I get yelled at if I don't go to my meetings, so I got to do that as well. So I thought I'd sit down and play a little bit more Tabletop Tavern. We did a stream of this about 2 weeks ago, I think, something along those lines. We got some of the collectibles. Some of the, entities and gear and all that fun stuff. I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't know how many more streams of this game I have in me. I think I want to do 1 or 2 just to complete, try to complete all of the unlockables here and the upgrades, as well as, maybe try to fill out the collection. And I think that might be about it. I don't think Tabletop is a bad game. It's pretty decent. I enjoy it, but it's not something that I'm going to be sticking around with long term, unfortunately. It's a fun game. There's nothing wrong with it. It's definitely worth the price of admission, at least I think. But yeah, we'll get into that a little bit more when we finish the game, when we do that last stream, whenever that may be. But we're just going to start a new campaign today. So, last time, we completed 2 campaigns? I thought we'd completed 3. No, we almost completed the Dracosaur Brood, but then we lost in the 3rd act. We lost the Sanguine Court very early. We only completed the Iron Legion and the Elves. We're just going to call them the Elves. So I think we're going to go with the Gruntkin today. We're going to start with the Gruntkin. So their campaign bonus is they heal all units by 30% of their maximum health after winning a battle. That's pretty decent. It's nothing to stick your nose up about anyhow. And they get +5 weapon strength for each other's Gruntkin squad above 50% HP. So we want to try to keep our boys healthy so we can get that weapon damage or weapon strength stacked. And our hero is going to be Boblin the Goblin King, whose special unit is the Siege Claw Artillery, which is an anti-infantry flaming ammo weapon. Okay. His hero effects is Drums in the Deep. Common cards now cost 5. Or sets common card cost packs cost... Words. Sets common card packs cost to 5. It does not stack. I don't know how you would stack it. It seems pretty straightforward. And then go forth my hordes. Goblin Rabble, Scrap Shooters, and Enforcers get +6 melee defense and +6 melee attack. So these are the Goblin Rabble here. And we don't have any of the Scrap Shooters or Enforcers. So this is a tricky hero effect. We saw when we played as the Dracosaur Brood with their ability, with the Swarm Tactics ability. If your army contains 5 or more kobolds, a random kobold will prestige after battle. I thought that was really powerful, and we did indeed get a bunch of prestiged up kobolds, and they were fairly powerful. But by the end of the 3rd act, they were basically just lumps of stats without any special abilities. And I think that caused some problems. And this feels very similar to me. If you take a look at, like, say, the Siege Claws here, that's a good example. You see, they have anti-infantry. Anti-infantry is a damage multiplier. Which, if you play a Total War game, anti-infantry and anti-large, they do different things. They're not a damage multiplier in that game, although they are still very good. In this, it's a damage multiplier, which means instead of doing, 75 damage, they do 150 damage to infantry. That's under the missile strength down there. That's a lot of damage. So when you have something where, like, your units get better at attack and defense, it's great. But they don't have any of those qualifiers, which means they're just blocks of stats. I didn't want to grab that, but okay. Can I undo? Nope. I guess we're getting Michael's secret stuff. Unless we can switch it out with something else. Okay, we can. So Chug Jug doubles troop health recovery. That seems like it would go really well with a 30% healing. It would basically double their healing, if I understand that correctly. Let's see, what else? No longer encounter monstrous or single unit entities. That would be pretty okay, but we only have 5 gold, I think, so the best we could do is something like this. Units heal to full capacity when entering a city peacefully. Common units get +6 melee attack and melee defense. That could be really good and stacked with Go Forth My Horde, but again, I don't really know how useful that'll be. Let's see, procedure random unit when sold. Anti-large units get +10 weapon strength, but we don't have any anti-large. I think I want to try the Chug Jug. I think that might be the best choice, although the first consumable being free is also very good. The first consumable in the shop being free is very good. But I think I'm going to try the Chug Jug. We're going to see what happens. We can't... Yeah, we have to complete the one campaign to unlock the ability to adjust what their starting army is. Alright, so... we are playing on Night difficulty. Gear chests in the shops are more expensive, and the final battle of each act is more difficult. So, we've beaten the game on Peasant and Squire. We beat the Iron Legion on Peasant and the Elves on Squire. You can see this little shield marker there. So we might as well try to level 3, see what happens. So our army consists of a big, scary Bogmaw troll. Okay, there's 8 of those guys. There's 8 Bogmaw trolls. That could be useful. Armor piercing ignores 50% of armor when dealing damage, so they're very good at anti-infantry. And they're also not affected by the negative effects of swamps. That's peripherally useful. And then the Goblin Rabble are literally just bodies. Okay. Alright, we're going to see what we can do with this. Alright, Act 1, the Crimson Veil. Let's get that starting chest. Northern Looters doubles gold from sacking towns. Quantitative easing policy. All units gain +10 leadership. Or aura farming. Towns have smaller garrisons for protection. Or I could claim a free consumable. These two would go very well together. But I'm thinking I might take quantitative easing policy. Leadership, especially for these little goblin units, I think are going to be very important. Unlike in, say, Total War, when a unit's leadership drops to 0, they completely abandon the battlefield. You can sort of recover leadership by pulling them back. It's kind of like a regenerating bar. But giving them extra leadership, I think, would be very useful. Alright, so I think we go to the forest. Yeah. Gravestone Imps. Chicken Flight. Can't be slowed by terrain. And then the Bone Clatter Spears are anti-large. So we want to make sure that our Bogmaw Trolls do not get into the Bone Clatter Spears. And our auto-resolve result is defeat. This will be great. Pretty Panic, hey, how's it going today? Welcome to the stream. We're not playing Dwarf Fortress today, but I appreciate you showing up nonetheless. Alright, so our first battle is going to be tricky because we don't actually have a lot of troops, but we're going first, or we're deploying second, which means we get to see how the enemy deploys. And then we can react appropriately. Alright, so we have imps. I feel like the game's stuttering a little bit. Maybe it's fine. Alright, so they've sort of just alternated their imps and spearmen. Okay. Well, I mean, there's not really a whole lot of fancy things we can do here. It's going to be a straightforward right-click on the enemy. Doing all right. You won't be staying long, but you thought you'd pop in. How goes me? I'm regretting today. I'm going to be extremely tired for work tonight, but I'm okay. I'm doing all right. I'm looking forward to next week when I will be on vacation. That greatly excites me. But I just have to survive the week. You're not worried about not doing Dwarf Fortress? I figured as much. I've always had the mantra of you feel free to enter, hang out, chill, or don't, depending on whether you enjoy the game or not. I'm not picky. I'm not going to be begging you to stay if you don't want to play, or you don't want to play, you don't want to watch. It's all good. We're all about chill gaming here. Alright, so it looks like our trolls are doing very well. And honestly, our goblins aren't doing too shabby either. Is that the Crushing Horde? I think it is. They are getting a lot of... Yeah, look at all that weapon strength. They're getting plus 15 weapon strength from all of the entities over 50% health. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Alright, let's try not to get into the spearmen, but we will bring these over and get them into the imps. Or everybody's just going to rout, and we're going to win. Nice! Alright. If you were begging me to stand up to a red flag signaling you to leave. Look, I know. I understand. If I was streaming for views, though, I would just be playing Dwarf Fortress and Voices of the Void all the time. At the end of the day, my channel is here to share games, and, you know, the views will come or the views will not come. And that's just the way that it goes. All right, let's get rewarded. We'll get the bounty. We'll get a free unit. I think we want the scrap shooters. I wonder... So here's my concern. I don't know if weapon strength affects ranged attacks. I guess we're just going to learn in real time, yeah? Because if it does affect weapon strength, that's going to be really good. That's going to be really good. But I have a sneaking suspicion that it might not. So we can also conscript a unit at 50% health from the defeated army, but I don't think well, that would be a good way to get some anti-large. But they won't get this campaign bonus. Yeah, I think I want to. I think I want to keep this army mono race because of the campaign bonus, or at least as mono race as possible. So we're just going to ransom the captives. And then we're going to, let's see, claim 1 of 3 gear items. Or train a random unit to prestige it. It's tempting to prestige a unit. I'm thinking I might try to go for the gear item. Streaming should definitely be kept as a hobby. Odds any individual person can make it into a reliable career is tiny. It's true. It's very true. I've been putting videos out on YouTube for literally ever. If I wanted to make a career of this, I would have ended that a long time ago. All right, so Common Builder reduces the cost of common unit packs by 3. So here's a question. My Goblin Leader has an ability that sets common card packs to 5. It does not stack. Could I then use Common Builder to reduce that by 3? Or is that a hard set? I don't know the answer to that. You know what? For science? I know, it's a rhetorical question. It's a rhetorical question. It's all good. Yeah, forcing yourself to stream sounds exhausting. Yeah, it's true. We're going to take it. We're going to find out. The Ravenous Host, Sakura Dynasty. So here's the thing. I don't really want anything from any of these people. But we might be able to raid the town. Yeah, I think we pick a fight with them. We don't have any artillery, so the walls are going to be kind of problematic, but let's take them on. Let's take them on. All right. We're probably going to take some damage here, but we have a lot of army recovery, so we should be able to walk out of this relatively unscathed. All right, we're going to go in over here because all of their ranged units are over there. So we could prestige these 3 Goblin Rabble and turn them into 1 higher tier unit. I don't know if that's worth it until we actually get some extra units to sort of make that work. Okay, so we've learned today the Goblin Scrap Launchers, or Scrap Shooters, do not get the Crashing Horde added to their missile strength. That is probably for the best, because that would make them, like, the best ranged units in the game. But it's a little bit disappointing. It means that technically the Scrap Shooters are going to be better in melee than they will in ranged combat. So I don't actually think I can shoot over this wall. Well, I can now, but I don't think I could to begin with. So there's no friendly fire with archers, so I don't have to be afraid of my archers killing my own units. I just have to burn through their ammo as quickly as possible before the battle ends. It's a little bit weird, but it is what it is. And I think these trolls are just going to destroy everything here. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. Yeah, look at these guys go. They're big boys. I think one of my biggest problems with Tabletop Tavern is that its biggest achievement is making me want to go play a Total War game. That's a lot of blood. It's true. Yep. Look, compared to the trolls, all these little tiny humans are just sacks of meat, yeah? But I suppose having stylized blood without, it does look very Total War inspired. It is. I believe the promotional material described it as like a Total War inspired roguelite. The light is important there. But yeah, it does really make me kind of just want to go play Warhammer Total War. There's pros and cons to both, though. All right, let's go into the town. We're going to loot stuff. We're going to take their gear. This is really loud whenever you open a chest. Ooh, prevents rain from falling on the battlefield. That is surprisingly good. I hate the rain effect. It slows down your large units by half. Is it rain that does that, or is it fog? I could be wrong. Outrider. Shielded. I mean, getting kind of an okay skirmisher archer could be useful, but I don't think I actually want any of those things. And of course, we could also deposit gold, which I don't feel like we need to have a need for. Hold on. Okay, fog halves range and accuracy for ranged units. And yeah, rain makes large units reduce their speed by 50% and receive no charge bonus. Rain is absolutely devastating. I lost the battle last time because of rain. It's really powerful. Do you want to try the auto-resolve? I don't know about that. Let's try it. Okay, we did take a lot of damage there. I probably shouldn't have done that. Look, the auto-resolve button is so tempting. Wait. Goblin Rabble, Scrap Shooters, and Enforcers. So that's the weird thing about this particular faction bonus, is that you really only want Goblin Rabble, Scrap Shooters, and Enforcers, which I think Enforcers are their special unit. I don't know. But let's go ahead and grab another Rabble. That will allow us to maybe prestige one of them here soon. And let's go to the shop. I want to see if this combination of the common builder plus the faction mechanic works. Wait. Sets common card packs cost to 5. Why is it 7? Wait. Wait. Maybe that's... Oh, that might only be in Goblin cities. Or Gruntkin cities. Sorry, they're not goblins. They are copyright distinct, not goblins. They are Gruntkin. I apologize. We're going to buy one of these anyway. Grab another Goblin Rabble. I think we can probably prestige one of these then. Yeah. So, prestiging increases their melee attack and defense by 10. And it's usually a good choice. It's usually a good idea to do that. It just makes them better in every way. What other potions do we have here? Add a random unit to your army or increase the prestige of a unit by 1. I think I want to save by money. Goodbye. At least some of it. All right, so we have an unknown event here, or we have a game. So the game is a gamble. There's a Gruntkin city all the way up there that we'll want to hit. Basically, if I recall correctly, you go to the games, you bet a certain amount of money. Are goblins trademarked? I don't think so. But I know some people will use, like, a different title than goblins and orcs, just to sort of avoid any potential problems. I know, specifically with Warhammer, they use the term greenskins, and they use that term specifically so that they can kind of hold on to the rights to that name. Same thing with the orcs in 40k. It's spelled with a K instead of a C to make it distinct so that they can monetize it. Let's go here. I don't know. Copyright is complicated. All right, so we have Night Riders. They are large cavalry. We also have Mist Wraiths, which are ethereal. Negates 50% of physical damage. My entire army is physical damage. That's going to be great. Anti-large, shielded. This might be a little tricky. Yeah, I know Games Workshop did a lot of things with their different factions using, like, different names so that they could claim copyright over it. Like, the Imperium of Man, it more recently has been called... Oh, what is it called now? What is it called? They have a special name for it that they use nowadays. Or the Imperial Guard. They don't call it the Imperial Guard anymore. It's the Astra Militarum. And it's not Space Marines, it's Adeptus Astartes. Yeah, they have all those like special names for it so that they can sort of lord over it. All right, so we are deploying second. That's good, but I don't think it's relevant here. So we have this blacksmith here. When our troops are in and around the blacksmith, which the blacksmith doesn't actually prevent unit movement, so we could just set up camp here. All of our units will get more melee attack, which is nice. You remember when Games Workshop tried to enforce the term Space Marines in court? You can't remember against who. That's part of the reason why they changed it. They changed it. I think they lost that lawsuit, after which they started renaming a bunch of their stuff to sort of gain creative control over it. I get it. I understand. But also, Games Workshop is known for being excessively litigious, so there's that as well. So I'm going to pause the game for a second. I mentioned in the last stream that I did for this game, I almost always think that Fire at Will mode is worth it. Unless there's something else reducing the accuracy of your archers, you are getting double the rate of fire for a loss of 20% accuracy. You're not going to do as much damage, but you're definitely going to get all of your arrows out. Now, for the goblins, or the gruntkin, it matters a little bit less because you want your scrap shooters to run out of ammo so that they can actually, like, well, honestly, you could probably just run them into melee mode and be just fine. But, yeah, I don't usually see any reason to avoid just blasting your ammo as quickly as possible. Although I will say that I want the Bonecladder Spears to take damage. These Mist Wraiths are going to mess us up, by the way. This is not going to be a pleasant experience for us. Alright, let's try to flank with the scrap shooters. You may have to pull this goblin rabble back. Yeah, we're going to pull them back so that they can recover morale. I think we're going to win this. It's just a matter of how much damage we're going to take. Yeah, so when outside of combat, you can see that morale slider going back up. No, stop. Don't chase after them. Not yet. Yeah, funnily enough, much like War of Dots, which is a game that is popular on my YouTube channel, you kind of want to cycle your troops out so they don't die to morale, which is kind of funny if you think about it a little bit. All right, what does the Terrified debuff do? Increases rate of morale loss. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's pull these guys back. All right, these guys are completely surrounded. You guys come back. Yeah, this is going to be really tricky. It's those Mist Wraiths. They're doing so much damage. Alright, I think they're about to break, though. Yeah. Alright, we got this. Ooh. That was a little tricky. It's gonna take some time for these goblins to heal up, especially this one. Even with our increased regen. Cheeto. That's a tip for everybody. Cheeto. Give me something good. I mean, what am I talking about something good? What am I going to get? More goblin rabble? I guess I am. Okay. Now, here's an interesting thing. If we conscript survivors, we could get the Mist Wraiths. Gimme. Oh, yes. Oh, thank you very much. So the big thing about the Mist Wraiths, obviously, is their ethereal trait. I mean, as you saw in the last battle, they take, like, no damage from infantry. So I definitely think it's worth going across the racial divide here to recruit them. But I do not think that we're going to be attacking this garrison. We're just going to head into town. All right, we could deposit some gold. We could recruit a unit. I think we're just going to leave. We healed a little bit. We're okay. We want to make sure we head for this Gruntkin city here. Swamp and rain. But we shouldn't get the rain because of the Bracelet of the Sun Goddess. Yeah. Ooh, they also have Mist Wraiths. Well, that's good. Our Mist Wraiths will kind of cancel each other out. I guess. I guess that's how that works. Theirs are a little bit more healthy than mine, but it's okay. It's all right. We got this. Are we going to get lucky with our initiative? No. I was about to say, we've gotten really lucky with our initiative. So far, we've succeeded at deploying second every single time. But it was inevitable that we were going to not do that forever. All right, so the statue of Boromid up here gives us +5 melee defense. And our Bogmaw trolls don't take penalties from being in the swamp. So that seems like something that we may be able to use to our advantage somehow. Maybe. Oh. Okay, I have put my archers in the swamp, which means they're going to be very slow. But that's okay. Can we just swarm these guys? Maybe. So we will get a charge bonus on these trolls. They will not. But I don't think that this is a great matchup in the long term. As long as we can take out these imps before the spears arrive, I think we'll be okay. So you can see how slow these spears are actually moving. That's why you don't really want to get into the swamp. The 50% move penalty is quite extreme. And of course, these gravestone imps do not... Here, let me... There we go. They don't get the speed penalty because of their chicken flight ability. But let's see if we can get into the archers here. Man, these Mist Wraiths, they take so little damage. guys pull back. I think our troll here is going to die. That's okay. I'm basically just trying to stall out their army while I deal with these mist wraiths. Surprisingly, the trolls are holding their own. I'm kind of really surprised by that. These Bone Clatter Spears have anti-large, which means they do double damage against large units. But, you know, these Bogmaw trolls are no slouches. 32 melee defense versus 22 melee attack means that the Bone Clatter Spears probably don't hit very often. I don't actually know the way the math works in this game. I'm a little bit more familiar with how it works in, like, the Total War games compared to this. So, of course, in the Total War games, it's basically a dice roll between melee attack and melee defense. If you fail that, you don't do any damage. So if your melee attack is really low and you're fighting something with a high melee defense, you just don't do damage. It's probably the same thing here. I don't see a reason why they would change that, but you never know. I don't want to speak with confidence about something I'm unfamiliar with. I wonder if ghosts bleed. Apparently the answer is yes. Ghosts do bleed. Interesting. So I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to grab another unit of Mist Wraiths. 62 kills. I got 34 kills on my own Mist Wraiths. Ooh, Orc Ravager. So I guess it's fine to call them orcs when it's actually on the card, but they're Gruntkin otherwise. Same with the goblins. You know what? I don't know. I don't know what's happening with that. All right. So I only get slightly more melee defense and melee attack. I think I do want the Orc Ravager. Look at that leadership. That's so much more leadership. Yeah, we'll grab it. We'll try to get the Mist Wraith. Nice. All right. We'll head to the forest. If we get a third Mist Wraith, which would be really good, we could prestige them and have just like one unit of really good Mist Wraiths. I think that's what I'm going to try to aim for. Ooh, Corpse Claws. Large anti-infantry. So I want my trolls to fight the Corpse Claws. There we go. Auto-resolve, defeat. Okay. We'll see what happens. I think this is going to be a pretty even fight. Most of our defeats so far have been. Nice. Our luck streak with deploying second continues. You want to try to deploy second because it gives you an idea of what their troops are doing. And how they're going to set themselves up. So we can react to their Corpse Claws being on this side of the battle by putting our trolls on this side of the battle. That's the whole idea behind it. Honestly, let's just send the boys into the Corpse Claws immediately. I probably shouldn't be sending any more units into this because, again, The Corpse Claws are going to do a lot of damage to the infantry. Here, maybe I can sort of redirect these guys over that way. So our Mistrays don't get the increased weapon strength from our faction, our campaign bonus. But our Bogmaw Trolls do 70 weapon strength. And our Orc Ravagers do. That's part of the reason why I kind of wanted to get some more higher tier Orcs. Because I think that's going to be very important as we progress in the game. Actually, let's try to get the Mistrays that aren't almost dead into their archers. I think that'll be really useful. Well, maybe if I can... Come on. There we go. Much like Total War, that pling noise sounds so out of place. Which one? The one when I click on something? Anyway, this is a win. I'll point it out when it happens. Okay, I'll try to keep an eye on the chat then. But yeah, our Mistwraiths, they're doing some work. They're doing some work. It's a fair point to keep in mind that this is a solo dev that does this game. And honestly, it's pretty cool. For what it is. Again, it really... That sound? That thingamajig? Ah. It just sounds like a stock sound, yeah. It's true. I hear it now. I understand. More goblin rabble. You've heard it elsewhere, you're pretty sure. I'm almost positive that I've heard it elsewhere. Come on, give me another unit. Oh. I wanted the Mistwraiths. I wanted the Mistwraiths game. I don't want undead levies or chicken flight imps. Get out of here. Alright, let's try to recruit some boys here. Ah, we could get another unit of Bogmaw Trolls. Our Bogmaw Trolls have... It's by a solo dev? As far as I'm aware of, it is, yes. Our Bogmaw Trolls have done a lot of damage. Getting a second unit of Bogmaws could be really good. I also like the idea of these Dire Rider anti-infantry cavalry units. I think we're going to grab a unit of those. Yeah, it's part of the reason why I'm a little bit reluctant to criticize it. It's not that there's not criticism to be had here. There definitely is. Again... Hey, how's it going today, Taylor? Hey, congratulations on your stream on Twitch the other day. Hopefully there will be plenty more to come. I'm sorry that I missed it. But, yeah, like, it's a fun game. It's very passable. It's very enjoyable, and I think it's only, like, $15 USD. But, the roguelike mechanics aren't really... anything special, and neither is the like the tactical combat stuff. I think, well, there's a little bit of improvements to the combat compared to Total War. I think Total War does it largely better. It was Warhammer of all things. I thought it was Warhammer Space Marine thing. Those are gross. Those are even more gross. What the heck are these guys? Shade Lords? Oh, I'm so dead. Still, Warhammer Space Marines exist in the world. Oh, I'm so dead. I am doomed here. I don't think I have a way of dealing with those ethereal units other than my own ethereal units that are worse. Maybe, just maybe, we can get them bogged down in the swamp. Oh no, they have Outrider too. No, they don't. Wait, no. No, the Dire Riders have Outrider. Okay. So the Dire Riders having Outrider means that I could put them basically wherever I want except in the enemy deployment zone. It's a pretty good ability. It's a pretty good ability. But, I think we lose this. I think I'm just going to kind of get a defensive ball of units going. And we're going to do what we can, but I have some concerns. With looks alone, it's a wild game. Let me double check that real quick. Yeah, solo developer, 0 marketing, Tabletop Tavern. Tabletop Tavern is made by 1 dev. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so Telly has done streams on YouTube. He's also posted videos on YouTube for a couple of years now, but he's trying to get into streaming, which I strongly recommend. It's great for generating content. All right, we're going to see what we can do here. I'm going to try to just harass with my Dire Riders as much as I can. Oh no, they didn't appreciate that. What is the voice line? This is kind of cute. Just kind of grumbling. Alright, let's try to get into these boys. I also don't have any anti-large, which is going to be a very real problem. Yeah, it adds, like, some flavor to them. It's cute. It's like, it's not quite English, but it's close. It's almost like a Goblin Simlish. As much as I hate to use the term Simlish. Actually, I think we're doing pretty okay in this battle. Somehow, our trolls are soaking a lot of damage. And our Dire Riders are doing a lot of damage on their own. Although, they are exhausted now, which means they no longer receive their charge bonus. Which is a problem. I think they'll still do charge damage. Yeah, I think they still do charge damage. I just don't think that they receive their bonus. These Shade Lords are a problem. I don't have a... Goblin Simlish is a good descriptor? I think so. Like, you can kind of understand what they're saying, but it's not, like, a clearly defined language. And that's okay. There's certainly nothing wrong with that. Okay, my trolls need a bit of a rest. Go ahead and pull back, boys. You've done a lot of good work for me, I think. I mean, I say that they haven't actually gotten any kills. But I still think they've done pretty good work. These trolls have a pretty significant charge bonus, too. I wonder if I should be cycle charging them. So, cycle charging is a term from Warhammer, Total War. Oh, I have a lot of goblins that are routing. That's not good. And functionally what cycle charging is pulling your units back and charging them in, and then pulling them back again to try to, like, maximize their charge bonus. Oh, we were doing so well for a second, and then all of my goblins broke. This is exactly what I was afraid of. Ah, unfortunate. What was that? What is the Shade Lords? Ethereal, terrifying Shade Lords? Come on. Sadly, this is not a Total War game. It's a roguelite, which means it only takes one loss. I mean, I think we did very well considering, but it's alright. We did a good job. 102 kills on the Shade Lords. What the heck are we supposed to do about that? Boblin the Goblin King. What a shame. What a shame. At least we got a couple of new things. Bracelet of the Sun Goddess. The easing policy for the +10 leadership, which I think was a massive help. And of course, we got to see a bunch of the Gruntkin units.